Ta-da! And my Pecha Kucha is called Creating Class. And as soon as I press the button, the Pecha Kucha starts, 20-second timers, and we're off and running, right? So with that said, this is how it kind of works. Right? I love this quote. Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it is the only thing that ever has. I truly believe in that. But I believe that once you teach people that they can create change, and they don't need to wait for government, they don't need to wait for big corporations, they don't need to wait for anyone else. They just need to be committed to it, they do it. And the world proves it. Because you see people like Malala in Pakistan, and with her voice she creates incredible change. And we see companies that are kind of like ours, like IDEO and Project H, which use the skills that we use here at Seriously Creative to change hunger in Africa and availability to water in India. And I've been talking for quite a while now, years, about trying to get students in Puerto Rico involved in creating change and unleashing them. I always wanted to work with university students. If we could teach them design thinking, what we do here, and unleash them on the problems of Puerto Rico, we think there's tremendous potential there. So I had all of these, a series of fortunate encounters. This is Professor Labon at Sagrado Corazon. I met him one evening, and I started telling him about my idea, and I thought, he's going to look at me and go, oh yeah, you're going to upset the greatest institution in the world, universities. We never change. But he said, take over my class. I waited for a whole semester before I got back to him. My fault, right? But along came Denise from Foundation for Puerto Rico, and I told her what I wanted to do, and she rode me like a rented donkey until I finally did something about it. And she encouraged me, and she cheerleaded me, and she connected me, and she pushed me to follow through on my idea. And then the next thing she did is she connected me to Efren, who's over here somewhere. Efren had just been through a course, a 6-week course in New York, working in Harlem using design thinking, what we do here, in order to create social change. So we invited him on the project, and suddenly I have these 3 collaborators, or maybe we should best call them conspirators. And we start this class in August. And we get these 6 students, 6 honor students at Sagrado Corazon, and we throw a project at them. And we tell them, by the end of this semester, you are going to help small businesses in the area of Calle Loiza solve some problem that they have. That is your entire assignment. We will help you do it, but it will be based upon your initiative. And we give them these immersive challenges. We throw them in the very first day. I give them these sheets of paper and I say, I want you to do something for me. I'm not going to explain to you how to do it or why we're doing it. Just trust me. And you can see the nervousness on their face. But they do it, and they start to get kind of involved. And we start changing the way teaching happens in universities. We start making everything immersive. In every class, they have to do something that they don't understand what they're doing. Do it before you learn it. We give them mini challenges. They have a challenge on the campus over the next few weeks in order to kind of stick their feet in the pool. They have presentations almost every class. They have reflections, and they have the big project. This class has worked out to be like a prototype, because the 3 of us, along with other people that are in the room who are kind of crafting this class, we're designing, we're applying, we're improving the class, we're curating over just teaching, and we're holding these little huddles to learn what we did well and what we would change. Last week was kind of a turning point with these students. Efren and I led them in a brainstorming. And these kids had never been in a real professional brainstorming before. And you could see them light up as they're writing these post-it notes, and they're wildly sticking them up. And you see suddenly it clicks for them. The power of change is inside of them, right? So what we want to do with this class is by the end of the semester, once they've done the whole project, is to have them pitch and present their idea to stakeholders. And those may be government officials, they may be some of you, people from the university, but we want them to present their solutions because we think that what they're going to create has real value for Calle Loiza. Where are we going with this project? Efren and I are already working to try to recruit 30 students for the next class. And we're using it as a marking assignment, and we want them to be from all over the university. Business school, communications, journalism, art, and we want to pull them together in teams of 5 student teams. And each 5 student team will be matched up with a nonprofit organization in the area of Santurce. Sofia Palmera, Barrio Obrero, Parada 18, and we want to match them up with a corporate sponsor who will give them money to implement their ideas. So as they discover the problem and find solutions, they're actually creating the change in the 3 months that you have a class. We hope to put all five of these 5-person teams on some kind of big stage and put a big audience out in front of them. And in the same way we have concerts, we want a social innovation concert where there's prizes and awards, and let's make heroes out of kids who are willing to affect change. We want to go beyond that too eventually. We want to get students from the UP, Politécnica, Interamericana to work with students from Sagrado Corazon. Maybe we get a retail space here on Ponce de Leon and we turn it into La Fábrica de la Buena Idea, and that's where the classes, students from all over Puerto Rico working for the betterment of Santurce. We thought, could this be a minor degree in different universities? Could it be a major? In some way, is it some kind of movement where it's not just students, but it's volunteers from around Puerto Rico who want to learn this way of affecting fast change? We also imagine this is the Peace Corps. We imagine in a year's time that there are students who have graduated, gone through our process, but they have 6 months of some kind of stipend given by a company to go out into El Campo de Puerto Rico, show people out there what they do and help them solve a problem, and then come back and show it back to Puerto Rico. We also imagine this is something working within the government, sending interns into the government to bring the same kind of fuel. What I've learned from this is that it's people make it happen. I wouldn't have done this on my own. I had the idea, but it took Professor Dalbon to give me the chance. It took Denise to kick me in the ass. It took to have someone who understood what I was talking about and a friend to be my partner in it. And I imagine if we keep doing this, if we keep following through it, we're going to create our own like Malalas in Puerto Rico. Young people with the spirit and the energy of youth, but the tools and the mindset of fast, rapid entrepreneurial change. And like Margaret Mead said, never underestimate a small, motivated group of citizens to make change, because truly they're the only ones who do. Thank you. So that's the project we're working on. In fact, we jumped into the class late. Professor Dalbon already had a class. He already had a syllabus. And he already taught the first 2 classes.